guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first YouTube video, and this has been a very long time coming. I've wanted to start this channel for a very long time, but I'm finally here and I'm going to be talking about being Jamaican in the UK. Everybody that knows me knows I'm a loud and proud Jamaican. I've brought my friend here, Rushel, along with me. Rushel is also Jamaican, and we're going to be just discussing some issues that we face as Jamaicans here in the UK. I made a video on Rochel's channel yesterday, so you go and check that out. I'll put the link down below. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment and share. So I wanted to talk about the stereotypes of Jamaicans here in the UK, because I feel like as a Jamaican, we don't necessarily get stereotyped in the best light.
It's the most negative light ever.
We're very negatively stereotyped. And it's not true for most of those stereotypes.
One of the stereotypes, like, we are always loud. I think they over-exaggerate how loud we can be.
We're expressive people.
Yeah, but I think they consider it being in a negative light. That because we're loud, we're always wanting attention. Because we're loud, we're always wanting to be seen. And you have to remember that we live in the UK and it's a very conservative place. And Brits are very quiet, so anything out of the norm is seen negative.
I feel like a lot of the stereotypes don't necessarily come from British people. It usually comes from other black nationalities. And I'm not saying that everyone does that. I'm just saying that people have that idea of what Jamaicans are like. So we're not all baby mamas.
Speaking about baby mamas, one of the stereotypes is that a lot of Jamaican men have loads of children and different baby mothers. You've got some. What about black men who are married, who are Jamaican men who are married, who stay within marriage and have all their children within marriage? And most time when people meet somebody, they always meet that kind.
If they meet someone that is not that kind, of like, oh, I can't believe you're Jamaican. I get that all the time. People don't believe that I'm Jamaican because I'm not a baby mama, I'm not bleaching, I don't have very colourful extensions in my hair, and I'm not loud. It gets frustrating in a way because I want Jamaicans to be seen in a positive light. And yeah, not because I don't match your negative stereotypes of what a Jamaican is supposed to be. That doesn't mean that I'm not Jamaican or any less Jamaican than the next person.
We need to face the truth that at least 40% of Jamaican men, they do have a lot of children with different women.
I agree, and I agree that I think that there's some sort of an issue. There's a broken family issue in Jamaica
in comparison to British. So what I will admit is that part of that stereotype is true.
Part of it is true, of course, but it's true for everyone. That's what I'm saying. It's not just for us. So for the stereotype to just be put on us.
Yeah, the stereotype is just put on us.
But I guess Jamaican men don't necessarily make it better for themselves. A lot of them, not all of them. Coming from what we just discussed about the stereotype,
we don't want to feed into those stereotypes, but we don't want to lose our roots. I think in my head, I always said to myself, I'm not lose my roots. That's what I always said. And anytime I feel like I'm deviating from that, something hits me.
It's a thin line between adapting and maintaining your culture, and it's hard to thread on that line or not cross that line of completely losing your culture. But I think it's inevitable that you're going to lose some of it.
True.
So another big thing that I wanted to talk about is what people in Jamaica expect from us now that we're here in the UK.
I think a lot of Jamaicans don't know what it's like to live in the UK.
Yeah.
So they don't know what the culture is, what work life is.
Yeah.
So their expectations is gonna match what they think it is, not what the reality is.
We had that expectation as well before we migrated here.
Maybe that was one of the reasons why we chose to migrate here.
Exactly. And now when we're faced with the reality, and then there are people back home thinking it's the expectation as opposed to the reality. Does that make sense? They probably think we have body for money and life is just easy. I really don't like when the expectation is forced onto us.
Living in a structured country, you've got more bills in comparison to somebody living in Jamaica. Like, for example, we pay building council tax,
a TV license.
Who the hell have to pay a license for a TV?
To watch TV. I think a lot of Jamaicans that live here contribute to that, to people back home having that expectation, because when we go back, we're acting as if we're living large in the UK or wherever we're living.
And that gives Jamaicans a tainted view of what living here is.
In their eyes, it's living large because most people don't have that luxury.
You think the things I see on Facebook and Instagram?
I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Has things changed since I left? Maybe.
Sometimes I get so homesick.
So do
like,
I.
Even though I'm settled and I live in the UK, I get so homesick. Like, sometimes I get up, the weather is shit, I'm just like, I'd rather be home.
Christmas time, I get so homesick because Christmas here in the UK and Christmas in Jamaica are
two different
they're just
things.
completely different, but there's nothing like Christmas in Jamaica. It's like the best time.
I've been to Jamaica before and I've been there for 3 weeks and I'm like, you know what, I actually miss the UK.
Yeah, me too. It's happened where I'm like, okay, I'm actually ready to go now.
How do we find a middle ground?
My life is not totally in the UK and it's not totally in Jamaica either, because I've lived here now for a long time. My life is split. How do I handle that?
In my head, the reason why in my head I'm thinking now I want to eventually go back and live. I always had this idea in my head, like, I want to spend my old days on my veranda, seeing people walking by. Yeah, I don't want to spend my old days in a care home here or living by myself here in this cold country. I won't be able to see a mango on a tree and send somebody to go and pick it. Like, that's how I'm always chatting about mangoes, but you know how many some good old instant mango. But that's how I see my life. I literally don't see my older life living in the UK.
I would like to go back to Jamaica later in my years as well, but my thing is, what am I going to be going back to? The people that I grew up with, they've gone on with their lives. They've probably moved to different countries or different parts of the country, or some have passed away. Do I have to leave my children and my grandchildren behind to go back? It's those things. So I don't really want to say I've made a decision, because I haven't. It's one of those things when I think once I get to that bridge, I'll cross it. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for tuning in. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And stay tuned for the next one.